Hello, welcome back to another fantasy football video. We have the Champions League quarter-final first leg coming up. Some big games, and I'm really looking forward to the Champions League action this week. We're going to be taking a look at how the UCL fantasy team lines up, the transfers that are going to definitely need to be made. But if you are new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for fantasy football content. And if you like the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And let's get straight on into this one. So here is how the team is kind of currently lining up before we make any transfers. As you can see, there are definitely a few red marks on there that need dealing with. Cristiano Ronaldo up top there, playing for Juventus, getting knocked out by Porto. Dani Olmo there, Llorente and Szczesny are the kind of main four guys that really need dealing with. Lewandowski currently injured, which is an interesting one because he's in contention to actually play the game against PSG. He's really trying to kind of make his way back from injury. Whether he will play though, I don't know, but it is an interesting one with him because I do think that Bayern Munich will beat PSG and will kind of proceed to the coming round. So it's just one of them where do I make the transfer now to take out Lewandowski and then want to bring him back in at a future point, or do I just kind of hold off for this game and maybe just leave him there even if he does look like he is going to blank. And other players in the team that I kind of like to move on, I'd like to move on to Hood. He's a fodder option at the minute, does pick up some good kind of ball recovered points, so he's not a bad one to have for sure. And then Jorginho as well, just the output from him I just don't think is particularly great. And then we do, obviously, because there are a lot fewer teams, only 8 teams left, we have a fair amount of conflict, but I think I will be backing Manchester City quite hard and then kind of dip into each of the other teams out of the players I do think are going to do well. So now let's take a look at some of the transfers that I'm going to be making ahead of the first leg, the quarter-final Champions League first leg. So here we have the attack starting up front with Haaland, Moise Kean and Lewandowski. Now, as you can see there, the captaincy is currently on Moise Kean. That's because I've just not decided who it's going to be yet. I'm probably going to put it on one of the Manchester City boys, which we will come on to. Talking about Manchester City, I do have Haaland in there playing against Manchester City. Now, you may think if I'm kind of bulking up on Manchester City players, why have I got Haaland? Because Dortmund are playing against Manchester City. Well, for me, it's more of just kind of like a safety option. Haaland is very not very likely, but if a Dortmund are going to score, Haaland is going to be that guy. I still do back Manchester City, but yeah, it's just a little bit of a safety option. I don't really know who else I would bring in. You could go for the likes of Mbappe against PSG. He could be a good option, or maybe Neymar as well. Or I could pump some more money into the midfield. Definitely something to think about. But for now, I've got Erling Haaland up top playing against Manchester City. Moise Kean in there, currently injured, but does say on the app that he's in contention. I don't really know the extent to the injury, but I was looking around at that £6 million kind of price bracket, and Moise Kean, not only has he been playing, but he's actually been picking up some points as well, getting some goals, getting some assists. So I do like the look of Moise Kean, and as I mentioned with Lewandowski, currently injured, in contention to maybe play the next game against PSG, and if he's kind of going to try and get back for a game, that is the game he'll try and be back for. But if he's not back, then it's definitely a player that I will want in the future, as I do think Bayern Munich stand a good chance against PSG of going through. Now let's take a look at the midfield. So taking a look at the midfield here, we've got a couple of transfers here, and straight away the main man Diogo Jota for Liverpool is coming, and saw that brace he scored at the weekend against Arsenal. I was like, yep, straight away you are coming into the side, fella. I am also very tempted to kind of do a little bit of a shift around, as I said, maybe move out Erling Haaland and bring in the likes of Mohamed Salah, maybe for Dahoud, but that's something to kind of, I'll wait and see on that one. I will wait and see what the kind of lineups are like, especially on the first day, because Real Madrid do play Liverpool tomorrow, so you can kind of take a look at the lineups and see how things are lining up. Then we've got Mason Mount in there for Chelsea. I do think he will be starting in this game. He did get benched at the weekend against West Brom, which kind of entails that he will definitely be starting in this game against Porto, and I do think Chelsea stand a good chance going through, and if they are going to score, Mason Mount is one of the most attacking outlets. Then obviously the man on the end, Dahoud, just there, as I say, for the ball recover points, and potentially looking at taking him out, but that'll kind of be a wait and see on Dahoud. Then we move on into the defence. We currently have the double, actually triple up, as you'll come and see, of Manchester City defence with Ruben Dias and João Cancelo in there. João Cancelo got given a rest at the weekend, and it's a good captaincy option. I'm very tempted to captain him in this game. Man City do play in the first leg, so there is always the chance that I can just flip the captaincy onto a PSG player, onto a Bayern Munich player, or say one of the Chelsea guys. We also have Marquinhos in there as well. Now Marquinhos, not necessarily there for the kind of clean sheet potential, as I do think that, as I say, Bayern Munich stand a good chance of going through and potentially scoring against PSG, but he's really, really good for those balls recovered and does have some attacking threat as well. Now the replacement for Szczesny in net, I've gone for Edouard Mendy. I do think that Chelsea stand a decent chance of keeping a clean sheet against Porto, so I've gone for Edouard Mendy in net. Now let's take a look at the bench. So on the bench, we've got Ederson, Alphonso Davies, Kimmich, and I brought in Gundogan for Jorginho. I think that's a pretty decent move, especially with the fact that Gundogan did get benched against Leicester. That kind of entails that he will be playing quite a pivotal role in this Manchester City game against Real Madrid. And then with Alphonso Davies and Kimmich, they're both there as well for their kind of attacking potential. Alphonso Davies going to absolutely bomb it down that wing, and Kimmich is basically a midfielder, can easily go and pick up some assists. And Ederson will actually probably be starting over Mendy, and Gundogan will probably be starting over the likes of, say, Marquinhos, or just one of the Bayern Munich or PSG players that are currently starting at the moment, because Manchester City do play in that first day of fixtures. This is currently how the team is kind of setting up and looking. As you can see, these are the kind of 5 free transfers that you do get. If you want to take any more transfers, you can take a minus. So if I did want to move around kind of Erling Haaland and Dahoud, I wouldn't be able to say make the Edouard Mendy or Gundogan transfers, or even say the Moise Kean transfer, which I probably would need to make. So for now, I think that Haaland and Dahoud will stay, but it's something that I will think about and contemplate. But Dahoud does offer some real good value for money. So if you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you are new around here, and well, just let me know how your kind of UCL fantasy teams are doing, the transfers you guys are thinking of making, who you think is going to go through. I think it's going to be some really, really interesting games coming up. I'm really looking forward to kind of watching the Champions League this week and just basically seeing what teams do well. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.